Hey, man, have you ever thought about smoking crack before?
Have I ever thought about it? No. There's an interesting
Okay.
conversation that I had with one of my uncles about smoking crack.
Do tell.
So, and he's passed away now. But I remember I was talking to him one time, and he had some issues with crack. The nigga smoked crack, was into crack. And I remember he was sober at this point. And so I asked him, I was like, man, why crack? Why would it be crack, man? Like, why crack? And he goes, that's not a question for me. The question is not why we are smoking crack. The question is why y'all are smoking crack. And I was like, what do you mean? He goes, well, crack, when it came out, was a new drug for us. It was something to try. Like, crack come out 83, 84, 85. It's like, yo, we was getting high off cocaine in the 70s. The crack come out, and now we trying the crack because that's a new drug that hit the streets to try. We had no idea. He goes, y'all and y'all generation, y'all know, and y'all still fucking with it. So the question isn't why we tried it. We were the crack guinea pigs. The question is why y'all see us and are still doing it. And I never forget that.
That's a fairer point than I ever imagined. It leads us to a very convenient segue into Hunter Biden doing his interview for 3 hours with some people I'd never heard of. Apparently, they seem to have some measure of legitimacy because they got Hunter Biden to sit down for an interview. Yeah. Now, I was trying to figure out what city it was in. You know what I'm saying? And then I was like, oh, okay, y'all got something completely different going on. The YouTube News Network, I ain't that familiar with that world. Now, first of all, it takes 2 minutes of listening to Hunter Biden and be like, oh, I see how you are trafficked through this world. This man is incredibly charming. Like in that trial, when that woman was like, yo, the first time I met him, he was smoking crack, but I really liked him. Like it all like shines out. He also said something that I had never considered about crack smoking. And I'll be honest with you, I heard him pop some shots at like Axelrod and Carville and all of them. But the stuff that's really got the streets on fire is him talking about crack, right? He was talking about he himself cooking up crack. And, you know, as a student of rap music, only people I ever hear talk about cooking up crack is the dudes that sell the crack. I had never considered the idea of people buying the cocaine and making their own crack at home. I had never really, like, I imagine that's a great way to save a little money.
Yeah, or to control how pure your crack is. The Hunter Biden interview just told me that anything can be elevated. You can elevate anything. You know how like people get into food down as chefs and they go, hey, this is a taco, but it's an elevated taco. Hey, this is chitlins, but these are elevated chitlins. Right? You can elevate anything. Hunter Biden sounded like, and maybe there's a racial component here because he's a rich white guy that's talking about it. Maybe you could have got this same crack dissertation from anybody that was walking around in any of these places like this, but maybe the optics of it changed because it's him. But he got into the purity of crack. He got into the ritual of crack smoking and why it's so, he really kind of in a way opened up a gateway to talk about the actual addictive nature of it and why it might have the hold on people that it has, other than I just can't shake that crack. And part of that has to do with the fact that he's a white guy, a rich white guy, but still it was very interesting to listen to.
Well, I felt like a couple of things, right? One, I thought that he offered plausible explanation as to how it is that somebody gets addicted to crack, right? Because basically, here's the thing, right? There aren't that many people that we think of as being strung out on crack who get into a position to clean up and come talk about it, right? White, black, or otherwise, okay?
Right.
Like you get the occasional Glenn Lowry. I don't know if you're familiar with him. He's an economics professor.
Doctor.
He's fairly conservative sort of cat. He had a job lined up with the cabinet, man, but they caught him with the cocaine and he'd be out there smoking crack. Glenn is somebody who could probably explain to you what the crack situation is, but the only crack smokers that we see are the crack smokers. Like, we only see the heads, right? I tried to explain to somebody once that there was a such thing as the occasional crack user, which I didn't believe back in the day. But then I realized is more people smoking crack than just the fiends that's on the street, right? So Hunter Biden became the rare person who had lived a life that allowed him to tell the world that he had smoked crack. Because as he pointed out in the interview, you can't just be out here telling people that you smoke crack. They're going to judge you. And you're goddamn right we are. We are absolutely going to judge you for smoking this crack. So when he was talking about how, he had like a flow chart, basically, like the oral fixation stuff and everything else, and it goes in a circle, and the ritual of it, and the hand to mouth, and how you start as a child, and you're brought into this whole situation and everything else. And I was like, damn, this man got all the game. Like, this just ain't about you being no white man. You are a different white man. Like, you are your father's son if your father, smoked rocks.
Yeah, he's got the charm that comes with the seasoning that American aristocracy can give you. Almost fumbled that word. But you know what's funny? My boy, and I'm not gonna mention his name, he's one of my best friend in the world. He was a longtime drug dealer. And he would always say, crackheads don't make you rich. He'd be that you don't get rich off crackheads.
Yeah, they ain't got no money.
Crackheads ain't never got no money. He was like, what keeps me selling crack is the person that work at your job that has a job and has income coming in that can continuously buy crack, and not just continuously buy crack, but introduce crack to other people. Like people that like they'll smoke crack at a party and people be like, well, oh my God, if Hunter Biden is doing this, don't think about Hunter Biden. Think about how many crackheads Hunter Biden has made. Think about that. Like Hunter Biden being a crackhead is one thing, right? But picture this. Think about Hunter Biden being the rich son of the vice president or a senator or whomever. You go to Hunter Biden's house to party or to his boat or whatever, you think that you own. You like, oh my God, I'm partying with the top of American power, wealth, and influence. He break out the crack, you're going to try it. He break out the crack, there's a lot of people out there that's going to be like, Hunter Biden and broke out the crack, I'm going to try it. Hunter Biden has made a lot of crackheads, and he's a crack evangelist. He's somebody that can get out there and tell you about it and get you into it and the whole nine.
The virtues.
The virtues of it to a degree that's out of this world. So he's probably made so many crackheads. It's somebody right now that's watching that someplace and they fucked up because they daddy was never the president, and they go, oh my God, Hunter's still on that same shit. So those type of crackheads is what actually keeps the drug dealers rich, because they spread the word of crack around, and they're to a smaller degree inside of communities as well.
So you saying that like crackheads don't keep the drug dealers rich, but the crackheads they keep your wheel wells clean, right? Like they keep your oil change. You need somebody to change out the small block. They got you on that one. That's what the crackheads do. Odds and ends.
He said crack users keep you rich. Yes. Crackheads. So
that's what I'm saying. Like the people, we always hear about the crackheads. They always try to barter in some form of fashion.
This is why this happened, because, and this people are gonna be listening to this, they're gonna be outraged, but I don't know what to tell you. This is the conversations that we used to have. He would tell me, he would be like, there was one guy, and it was a guy in Denham Springs, a white guy in Denham Springs. Denham Springs is a white enclave, very racist white enclave on the outskirts of what would be considered Baton Rouge proper. And he would be like, the guy had to sell his television to get money to come bring him money for crack. And I was like, first of all, bruh, you got to change your life. And I was like, secondly, what do you care? He goes, that just lets me know that he's not going to be a good customer for too much. He's bottoming out. He's getting towards the end of it. He was like, I would rather him be functional and be able to do this every week, every couple of days, couple of times a month to where I knew that money. But if he's starting to sell shit, that just tells me that he's bottoming out. He's like, those aren't the guys that keep me in business. The guys that keep me in business are people that somewhat have control over it and can keep coming back and keep coming back and keep coming back and keep coming back. This also wasn't a guy that was catching a corner. So he wasn't on the corner dealing to people on the corner. He was more of a upscale guy
Wholesaler?
going to your house and all of that
Oh,
stuff.
no, okay, not a wholesaler, but
Not
he
a
was
wholesaler. No,
operating
we didn't
different
get to that point.
clientele.
Yeah.
Different clientele.